Hey, how's it going? Today I wanted to share a few of the apps that I use to keep up with my health and meals and things like that. I've discovered that tracking things and using these apps has been really, really helpful for me. And I thought I'd just share them with you, and you can take a look and bring them to your phone and see what you think. So let's get to it. So I keep most of my health apps in a little folder here. So the first one I have is Happy Scale, and I love the name. Kind of turns around the whole the scale is bad sort of thing. And what this does is it gives you lots of different tracking options for your weight and gives you goals, milestones to reach and that kind of thing. So with right now I have my milestones set for every 10 pounds. So every time I get close to 10 pounds and I reach a milestone, it shows me how close I am overall to what I'm doing. It shows my weight trends, lost in 7 days, lost in 30, lost in 90, lost all time. And then it comes down with predictions, which I find really motivating. So if I lose 2.5 pounds a week in 6 months, I'm going to be at my final goal. If my current rate is 3.51, so my overall rate 5.72, that's going to come down a little bit over time. Obviously, I started off pretty quick. And then it also has a weight chart, which is kind of cool to see, especially if you look at like the 90-day trend and it going down. You can look at just 7 days and that kind of thing. So let's look what happens when we enter in a new weight. So current weight, you can see up here at the top, 258.2. It also shows what I weighed in yesterday. Let's see, I did weigh this morning and it was 256.2. And we'll add that entry. Hey, you made progress. Tap to unleash it. And there it goes. It does its thing, shows you how far you are to the next milestone. The trends improve. Let's take a look. All right. Pretty sweet. I have to admit, I really like it. I like when that flips around. So this is really handy. You can go back and you look at all your logs and your weigh-ins and everything like that, which is pretty cool. There are different reports that you can track for your weigh-in, your trend line, what your best weight loss in a certain amount of time are, that kind of thing. Generally, I just stay here on the summary page. So that's that app. Next one I use every single day, multiple times a day, is Baritastic. I use this to track my food. I also track my weight here, so let's look at the weight. The one thing that's nice about the weight here is, and they have different kind of pre-calculated milestones, it's going to show me where I am. But what I do like is the weight trends, because it shows weight loss before and after surgery, and very similar sort of thing to Happy Scale, but I do like the before and after surgery part of it, just as a demonstration. So let's log my weight here. 256.2 this morning. Add that weight, come back, and you can see that I'm almost to this milestone for here. And it's updated my weight. And you'll notice the numbers are a little different here, and not sure exactly why. I probably put in a starting weight differently. I didn't start these apps at exactly the same time, so there's a couple of differences in the weight there, but I usually take the Baritastic one because I did start this right at the beginning of my journey. So this is kind of my official one, and so 54.3 pounds all time so far, 43.8 since surgery. The other thing that this app does really, really well is food logging. So I go into my logging, and what's really nice is it remembers things. You can create your own meals. You can add things just by adding in the calories and that kind of thing. You don't have to enter in everything that you don't want to. So if I do a quick add, I don't have to fill all these fields in. I could just track the ones that I am interested in tracking. And if I'm just interested in calories, put in calories. If I'm just interested in carbs or fat or protein or whatever, I can just put in those or as many as I want. The other thing I can do is if I've got a few things added to breakfast, I can create a meal. So let's add something here. So this morning I had 2 eggs, which is a pretty common thing for me. So I can look at my recently added things. I've got 2 eggs right there, so I can add those in. Also, there was some asparagus in there. So let's add some asparagus. Oops, there we go. Asparagus. And I actually had 4 spears, and it's going to add that in there. And I also had a tomato. I had a little bit of what do you call it? Omelet this morning. So there. And if that's something that I have quite often, so you can see that was my breakfast, I can create a meal out of that. Name it, say asparagus omelet. And save that. And you can see I've got a few things. Hot chocolate brownie bar, because it wasn't in the system. Keto chicken on a bun, that kind of thing. So you can add those. And let's go back to the beginning here. And lots of other things in here. If I go down to snacks, I haven't had a snack today, but just for example, you can bar scan code things. So if I have something like this edamame spaghetti, and I had some of that, I can, and it'll scan it, puts in, has a quarter of a box. I can go, I probably didn't have probably wouldn't have eaten a quarter of a box of these, but it adjusts it, makes it really easy, adds that into your meal. Some of the other things that it does is reminders, which is kind of nice, protein shake, water, vitamins and minerals, meals, other things like that. You can set reminders for yourself to take the things that you want. It's got a little timer that 30-minute timer before you eat, 30-minute timer before you drink, and chew for 20 seconds. So that was kind of handy at the beginning when I was starting to try to learn how to eat slower and that kind of thing. It also can keep track of your steps. This periodically syncs with my Garmin, so I don't actually physically edit in there. And then there are some practices that use this, and they'll load up checklists for you to follow if their practice is connected to it. And there's recipes, which is pretty sweet for soft foods, lunch, breakfast, protein shakes, sides, that kind of thing. Is pretty cool. So this is one of my sort of must-have apps if you've had surgery. I also use this blood pressure monitor app to keep track of my blood pressure, because I did have high blood pressure, and I find it really easy. I'm not going to go deeply into that, but tracks a lot of things and tracks what medications you're taking and that kind of thing over time. So I can look at my history, see what my history of what it is going back and that kind of thing, and how it's related to my weight. I haven't checked it in a while, but I should. One that I use quite a bit. Another one I use pretty much every day is MapMyWalk. And when I'm ready to start a workout, I go at it and measure it. You can see my log here of walks that I've been on the last month or two. I guess it's almost 2 months now. There are a couple that aren't in there where I forgot to turn it on, but I use this almost every day. I've got a Garmin, kind of like a Fitbit, so it's called right here we go. And this is a pretty cool app here. Obviously shows steps, calories burned, or how many from resting, how many from active. It tracks your sleep, how many steps you get, that kind of thing. This updates automatically, so there isn't a whole lot you can do from here, but it also syncs with a lot of other apps like your Apple Health app and that kind of thing, so that's pretty cool. So I do like the Garmin app. I use the OneTouch here, and this is my blood glucose tracking because I was diagnosed with diabetes, and this will sync with a couple different things, but it keeps track of my glucose, highs and lows, ups and downs, that kind of thing. Can take a look at things over time. You know, green is good, blue is a little low, red is high. It's been awesome since I've been there. HomeWorkout is a handy little app that basically has some non-weight related exercises and things like that you can do, so that's pretty cool. And then another one I use very often, especially now that I'm doing a fitness thing, is this Intervals Pro. It is so cool. You can create these intervals, warm up, run, walk. If you're doing intervals between that, it talks to you, tells you when you're halfway through a certain interval. You can totally customize the intervals. You can do high intensity training, custom intervals, set timers, all kinds of advanced things. It comes with some built-in ones that you can do, little challenges. You can use it for mindfulness and meditation, training programs for a 5K, None to Run, 12-week run walk plan, which is kind of what I'm doing. And this is a great app. I love this one. You can check out the logbook and see what we've done. Just started using this one and I love it. So those are my main apps. There's other things I use just for my personal well-being. The Apple Health app, keeps kind of syncs with a whole bunch of different things. It syncs with a bunch of different apps, keeps track of, what's going on, which is pretty neat. Kind of consolidates it into one place. So those are the apps I'm using right now that I use almost every day for my weight loss journey. I encourage you to go find them out. I can't really talk. So I totally encourage you to check them out. See which ones you like. Maybe find some other ones. If you have some suggestions for some good apps, leave it in the comments below. As always, subscribe, like, comment, and until next time, take care.